People wanted those stories for years. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that people wanted those stories for years.
Swear y'all don't know the half of this industry.
The night Kelly Rowland uncovered just how serious Jay-Z and Beyonce's power really is, that was the game changer.
No, it's still real alive. We alive tonight, bro. We alive tonight, bro.
From sharing the spotlight with Beyonce, to trusting Jay-Z with her career moves, to finally realizing she was just a piece in their multi-billion-dollar puzzle, Kelly says the truth almost shattered her.
You could be the most talented person in the world and not do well.
Yeah.
Because you don't have anybody behind you that really knows what the hell they're doing.
Rumors started swirling that Jay-Z could be the father of Kelly's son, Titan. Fans kept pointing out the striking similarities, his nose, eyes, even his smile. But what really shook everyone was when Kelly dropped a song that exposed her pain, struggles, and a broken connection. Let's dig in. First, let's talk about how Kelly Rowland is tied to Beyonce and Jay-Z. They've been tight for years. Their story began way back in 1991. Kelly was part of a girl group called Girls Time, and that's when everything shifted. She even moved in with Beyonce's family. From there, the bond grew stronger. These girls weren't just friends, they were like sisters. They grew up side by side, singing and chasing the same dreams. Over time, that group transformed into Destiny's Child, and their hits blew up. Songs like Bills, 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 No, 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 and Jumpin' Jumpin'.
And all you fellas leave your girl with her friends, 'cause it's 11:30 and the club is jumping.
Played everywhere. The fans couldn't get enough, and the group shot to worldwide fame. Later on, LaToya Luckett and Latavia Robertson left the group.
Two of the ladies decided that they wanted to fire my father as a manager without ever discussing it with us. We got a letter one day, and we were performing the day before together. So it was devastating to Kelly and I. They were very, very aware of everything.
Then Michelle Williams stepped in, and the trio, Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle, reached new heights of success.
I'm a survivor, I'm not gonna give up, I'm not gonna stop, I'm gonna work harder.
They snagged major awards, toured globally, and built a massive fan base. But in 2006, the group disbanded, and everyone went their separate ways. Even after Destiny's Child split, the bond between these women stayed tight. They reunited a few times, like when they lit up the Super Bowl halftime show in 2013. And once again at Beyonce's iconic Coachella set in 2018. Those moments reminded fans that their connection was still real, and many still crowned them one of the greatest girl groups ever. But beneath all that shine, Kelly Rowland carried a heavy weight. She often felt trapped living in Beyonce's massive shadow. It wasn't easy for her to voice it, but eventually, she let the truth spill. While shooting The Voice Australia,
Which one of y'all did no? And now I know how this button feels, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm really upset.
Kelly was chatting with singer Chris Sebastian. He shared how people constantly compared him to his famous older brother. That hit Kelly right in the heart. She opened up and confessed, "I know how that feels." Imagine being in a group with Beyonce. She revealed it wasn't just about the music, it was how people constantly compared her to Beyonce in every way. Kelly said she second-guessed everything about herself. What to wear, how to sing, always scared folks would say she was copying Beyonce. She didn't hold back on how painful that was. For about 10 years, it haunted her. She called it the elephant in the room, always there but never spoken about. It wasn't easy, to be honest, because the public expects celebrities to always look happy and confident. But Kelly admitted that deep down, she struggled. Even with her own success and fans, she still felt small next to Beyonce. That kind of feeling can be tough, especially when you care about the person you're constantly compared to.
You ain't running game. Say my name. You acting kinda shady.
Then, something strange went down one night that sent fans into a frenzy about Kelly, Beyonce, and Jay-Z's relationship. A few years back, Kelly had a private dinner with Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Beyonce's sister, Solange. It was Kelly's 31st birthday, a night that looked fun and full of smiles. But after the dinner, something weird happened. Kelly was spotted outside, wiping tears away. No one knew why. She kept quiet, but questions started piling up. Why cry after a night with your closest friends and family? That dinner turned into a mystery. Some thought Kelly was just overwhelmed by the special occasion, but others believed something much deeper was going on. As whispers grew, people started scrutinizing Kelly's connection to Jay-Z even more. Things got even messier when rumors surfaced that Jay-Z might be the father of Kelly's son, Titan.
I think it's because he loves me, and also when he doesn't, I think he's like trying to get my attention.
That rumor shocked a lot of people. It began when folks noticed Jay-Z's reaction when he saw Kelly at a movie screening for The Harder They Fall. At first, he didn't seem to recognize her, but then his face lit up and he looked genuinely happy. He smiled big and his whole vibe shifted.
I know some people, they would die for me. We run together, them up.
The internet exploded. Some fans said it was just a warm reunion between old friends, but others felt there was way more to it. That brief moment sparked a wildfire of gossip. Folks online immediately started comparing pics of Kelly's son, Titan, to Jay-Z. They swore Titan looked just like him. People zoomed in on the nose, the eyes, even the shape of his face. Some fans even claimed Titan resembled Jay-Z more than Beyonce's own kids. It wasn't long before whispers began that Kelly might have had a hidden fling with Jay-Z. Some even dubbed her Becky #2, dredging up old cheating stories Jay-Z faced years ago. Social media blew up with comments and theories, with plenty insisting Titan's a spitting image of Jay-Z, and there's no way he's not his kid. These whispers didn't die down. Even 5 years later, people still bring it up. Some believe Beyonce's fans just choose to ignore it on purpose. They say folks are scared to question anything about Beyonce or her circle. They argue if anyone else were involved, the media would have blasted it nonstop. But since it's Jay-Z and Beyonce, the story stays hush-hush. That quiet only fuels more curiosity. Why is no one willing to speak on it? Why hasn't Kelly cleared the air? Some tried to shut down the talk. One commenter said they didn't think Jay-Z and Kelly ever had anything going on. They said Jay-Z wasn't Kelly's type, but even that person had to admit Titan shared a strong resemblance with both Jay-Z and Blue Ivy, Jay-Z's daughter. When they looked at Titan and his real dad, Tim Weatherspoon, there were clear similarities too, especially in younger photos of Tim. So maybe Titan just has features from both sides. But gossip doesn't need receipts to explode. Once it starts, it's tough to put the lid back on.
Can't get you out of my head. Dun, 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 dun.
Kelly's had to handle a storm of these rumors. First, she was always tagged as Beyonce's little sister. Then, folks said she was living in Beyonce's shadow. Now, people are claiming her son might be Beyonce's husband's kid. That's a heavy load for anyone. It's painful to be surrounded by love, yet still feel judged, compared, or doubted by the world. Kelly's worked hard her entire life. She's talented, resilient, and kind. But the spotlight often shifts to someone else, whether it's Beyonce or Jay-Z. Even though Kelly and Beyonce seem close, moments like that birthday dinner clip make people wonder what's really going on behind those smiles. Was Kelly tearing up because she felt out of place? Did Jay-Z say something? Or was it just the pressure of being around people who seem larger than life? We may never know. Kelly has never confirmed or denied any rumors, and that silence only deepens the mystery. This kind of story isn't unique to Kelly. Something similar happened with Blue Cantrell. She was a singer who scored some major hits in the early 2000s. Then suddenly her career disappeared. Years later, something strange went down. Blue Cantrell was found on the street screaming that someone was trying to harm her with poison gas. Police picked her up in Santa Monica and took her to the hospital. Her behavior showed something was seriously off, and cops thought she needed a mental health evaluation. Some said she was having a breakdown, but others believed she was trying to send a warning. Blue vanished from the public eye after that. She stopped doing interviews, stopped dropping music, and stayed completely off the radar. Her last TV appearance was in 2008 on a show called Celebrity Circus. She got kicked out early, and after that, she faded away like someone wanted her silenced. Fans still wonder, did Blue know too much? Was she silenced?
I think Cirque du Soleil was what I really wanted to join because it had the music and the singers, and I wanted to do the singing, and then it was like, everything was like a dream.
Her music career was already losing steam before her breakdown. Back in 2004, Blue found out her deal with Arista Records wasn't renewed. She didn't walk away by choice. The label simply forgot to extend her contract. That's pretty odd for a major company.
You could be the most talented person in the world and not do well.
Yeah.
Because you don't have anybody behind you that really knows what the hell they're doing.
Most folks believe there's more under the surface. Blue later revealed she didn't make nearly the money she deserved. She felt played. In an interview, she admitted she signed a terrible contract. Even worse, her lawyer was secretly working with the label too, a total conflict of interest. That meant her lawyer wasn't really on her side. They all teamed up to take what should have been hers. Blue claimed only she and the label insiders truly know the full story. She said, "Nobody really knows the whole truth but me and them." She stepped away from the music world and lived abroad for a while, spending time in London. Blue said being an artist was brutal, no time to rest or eat properly. She desperately needed a break. In 2012, she told a magazine she was working on a third album. She was sure it was going to be huge, confident it would smash the charts. But that album, it never dropped. It just disappeared. Nobody knows the reason why. That sparked questions. Was someone blocking her comeback? Some folks say Jay-Z controls way more than just music. They believe he holds serious power and can end careers on a whim. Some artists even claim Jay-Z uses mysterious numbers and secret codes to pull strings behind the scenes. They whisper he might be tied to something dark, maybe even part of a secret society that controls the music biz, and maybe more. Kanye West dropped some shocking claims too. He said some celebrities are puppets for powerful people. Kanye claimed he's not controlled because he never hurt anyone, but others, like Shaq, Charles Barkley, LeBron James, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, they're controlled. He named them outright, telling the world he's unafraid to spill the truth. Kanye said, "It's up."
No, it's still real alive. We alive tonight, bro. We alive tonight, bro.
Some fans believe Kanye's message. They think he's sounding the alarm. One fan said Beyonce once mentioned using Bible pages as a tampon, and that freaked a lot of people out. They say Beyonce and Jay-Z are sinister. One person claimed Aaliyah was sacrificed so Beyonce's star could rise higher. Aaliyah died in a plane crash.
Plane just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather suddenly plummeted to the ground. Investigators now saying one of the engines apparently failed. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actress.
And after that, Beyonce's solo career blew up. Jaguar Wright, another artist, also weighed in on Aaliyah's death. She said Aaliyah had to be removed for Beyonce to shine. Jaguar claimed Beyonce's career was struggling before Aaliyah passed. Once Aaliyah was gone, Beyonce's rise was rapid. Jaguar believes it wasn't a coincidence. She says it was all part of a bigger plan to crown Beyonce Queen of Music. Fans praised Jaguar for speaking out. One fan said, "I will never forget Aaliyah. Her soul was pure. She was full of love. She didn't deserve what happened." This fan claimed the music world used her death to boost someone else's career. It's a heavy thought, but some folks really believe it's true. Jay-Z and Beyonce have been caught up in wild conspiracy theories for years. Rumors say Jay-Z might have twisted his power in shady ways. One tale says he got close to Rihanna right when she was just breaking out. People say he helped launch her career, but maybe he had other motives. He was desperate to get her to sign a contract. He even warned her she could walk out the front door if she agreed, or the window if she didn't. That threat shook her up, so she signed without hesitation. Jay-Z then helped turn Rihanna into a superstar. They dropped tons of hits together, but questions remain. Was his help purely business, or was there an angle of control? That suspicion isn't new. Several female artists have claimed their careers were steered or even harmed after teaming up with him. Amiri is one name that pops up often. She had a breakout track called One Thing. Pushing that song to the public was a battle. Her label, Columbia, wasn't feeling it. They said it needed a bigger chorus. Amiri and her producer, Rich Harrison, worked hard to tweak it, but the label kept blocking them. After months of frustration, they secretly sent the song to radio stations. Listeners loved it, yet Columbia didn't want One Thing to blow up. People say the label was saving that style for Jennifer Lopez. Around that time, J-Lo was gearing up for a new album. Many believe Columbia purposely held back Amiri's song to give J-Lo the spotlight instead. In the end, Amiri's track did drop, but fans smelled something fishy. They started comparing Amiri's sound to Beyonce's hit Crazy in Love. That track featured a go-go beat and those iconic horn blasts. Amiri's fans say her song came first. Rich Harrison, the same producer, worked with both Amiri and Beyonce. So who really owned that sound first? That mystery still lingers. But fans think Amiri's vibe was taken and handed over to Beyonce to boost her fame. It all raises a major question. Why do so many artists say the same thing? Why do they feel used, silenced, or pushed aside? Is it just business, or is there a darker side playing out behind the scenes? Her heart-wrenching song, Dirty Laundry. Anyway, back to Kelly. Kelly Rowland started making music solo. One of her strongest tracks is Dirty Laundry from her album Talk a Good Game.
When my sister was on stage, killing it like a mother.
This song isn't your typical track. It's deep and raw. Kelly opened up about her life in a way that shocked a lot of people. She sang about something painful, being in a toxic relationship. She didn't just describe the pain. She revealed how it made her feel small and broken inside. It even strained her friendships with her Destiny's Child sisters, especially Beyonce. Kelly let the world in on her secrets through this song. The reaction, shock, but also respect for her honesty.
I think that people wanted those stories for years, and that's just so sad on them because it's not like that.
Dirty Laundry is a slow R&B ballad with a soft beat and Kelly's voice dripping with emotion. It tells the story of what her life was like after starting her solo journey. That journey began in 2002 when she dropped her debut album, Simply Deep. In this song, she reflects on the years that followed and the struggles she faced. Even though she seemed happy on the surface, inside she was quietly hurting. During an interview, Kelly revealed that recording Dirty Laundry was incredibly tough for her. She tried singing it over and over but kept breaking down in tears. It was like reliving that pain all over again. She just couldn't hold back the tears. That shows how deep those wounds really were.
Swear y'all don't know the half of this industry.
Kelly also shared that when her record label first heard the album, she had to leave the room. She didn't want to be around when Dirty Laundry played. The song was still too raw and painful for her to listen to. She said it took a lot of time to heal before she could even perform it right. She wanted to tell her story, but it wasn't easy. It took real strength just to sing it. Her voice in the track is gentle but packed with power. You feel her pain. She wasn't singing for pity. She sang so anyone else hurting wouldn't feel so alone.
So sad that we live in a world where people don't want to see women get along and encourage and empower each other. And that's what we do for each other.
In the song's opening, Kelly talked about feeling jealous of Beyonce. She said she was happy for her friend, but still hurt watching Beyonce blow up while Kelly was struggling. It wasn't mean jealousy. It was more about feeling left behind. That made her feel even more isolated during her hardest moments. It's not easy to admit that, especially when the world idolizes you. But Kelly was brave enough to speak her truth. That honesty helped many people see her in a new light.
Swear y'all don't know the half of this industry.
Later, Kelly opened up about the abuse from her ex. She said he controlled every part of her life. He told her no one cared, not even her family or Beyonce. He made her feel completely alone and worthless. She was too scared to walk away. Once, during a fight, he even smashed a window. Kelly said she felt like that window, shattered, broken, and full of cracks.
Who wanna hear my bullshit? Meanwhile, this nigga putting his hands on me.
That line hit hard because it showed how deep her pain really was. It wasn't just physical abuse. It was emotional and mental torture too. Kelly Rowland, Blue Cantrell, Amori, Rihanna, Aaliyah, just a few names caught up in this pattern. The same story keeps showing up. A woman gets close to Jay-Z or Beyonce, her star starts rising, then something goes sideways. Her career stalls, she vanishes. Or worse, she breaks down like Blue. It happens too often to ignore. Some folks still stand by Jay-Z and Beyonce no matter what. They call all this gossip and rumors, but others believe these stories run too deep to be false. They say the music world has a dark underbelly, and it's time to listen to those who dare to speak up. We might never know the full picture, but the voices of artists like Kelly Rowland, Blue Cantrell, Jaguar Wright, and Kanye West can't be dismissed. If they've seen something, we need to pay attention. If they're warning us, it's time to listen.